Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. We've seen the cover of the upcoming White Dwarf issue 466 and it looks as though, in another strong tease of possible things to come, that the Tyranids are going to be making an appearance in this as well. And it seems like it's going to be in relation to the upcoming Octarius mission briefing preview, which is happening this Saturday. What we appear to be getting in this White Dwarf is a brand new mission which is featured in an article called Flashpoint Octarius. And it's going to be outlining the arrival of Hive Fleet Leviathan and an attempt to meet their threat by a successor chapter of the Salamanders, the Dark Krakens. And what sounds quite intriguing about this mission is that it is set underwater. And so there appears to be some unique, bespoke rules coming along with it. The article gives us a very blurry picture as usual, but from what I can tell, it seems as though there are penalties to your movement and your charge ranges, and on top of that, penalties to the maximum range of your ranged weapons. You reduce it by a full half to a minimum of 1 inch. And then on top of that, at the start of each battle round, you roll a d6, and there is a funky new Predators of the Deep table, which appears to have 4 different outcomes depending on the dice roll, and although they're all a bit too blurry to actually read, they should hopefully serve to mix the battle up and give some really interesting and unique dynamics to the battle as you progress through the mission. So I'm really excited about that. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that underwater style mission changes the way that both the Tyranids and this Salamanders Successor plays on the board, and what units you feel like are good to bring and how to achieve the mission. And on top of that, there are 2 entirely new data sheets coming for the Dark Krakens. One for their captain, Krigeni Lucior, and one for a librarian, Parion Uari. So that is all well and good and cool. I really am a fan of trying out this new underwater battle and seeing how big a difference the changes make, but I will say I'm a little bit annoyed. Considering the White Dwarf issue has literally got a picture of a Tyranid on the front, why couldn't they have taken the spotlight a bit more in this mission? At the very least, couldn't there have been 1 new Marine character and, I don't know, 1 new unique Tyranid that you could bring as an HQ? I mean, heck, I would even take one that you could only use in this mission, some kind of water adapted Tyranid Prime or Gene Stealer style unit that ignored the movement penalties or just had some advantages thanks to being in the water. You know, I don't know, anything just to give Tyranid players something new and something exciting to look forward to after such a long time, because the last bit of rules was Psychic Awakening, which was a year ago, you know? And thinking about that got me thinking about another video which I'm actually currently planning, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about it here, but I just wanted to bring it up because it kind of segued in quite nicely. But why is GW so insistent on focusing the things on new Marine characters and rules in things like these White Dwarf missions, or more notably in things like the Index Astartes that they do in White Dwarfs? We've seen the Tome Keepers, the Fallen, the Exorcists. Why don't GW do something like that for the Xenos factions? Even just some small couple of character data sheets, some stratagems, maybe a relic or 2, just to give Xenos factions something new to look forward to and something new to play with in between their codex releases. I really don't understand why GW don't use White Dwarf as, honestly, the perfect tool to provide those carrots on a piece of string, those kind of releases to put out between books. It would be so easy, and it would honestly be so welcomed, I think, by non-Marine factions. Because let's be honest here, I can't imagine that there were many, if any, Marine players that saw the Exorcists Index Astartes and thought, you know what, just for that, just for those particular rules, I'm going to grab the White Dwarf. That's the only thing I want. I don't care about anything else in the issue. I just want to fork out for those rules for the Exorcists. No Marine player did that, I almost guarantee you. But on the flip side, I bet if GW did something like that for, say, a new Minor Tau set or a new small Hive fleet, and had some cool stratagems, relics, maybe a new chapter tactics style special rule for them, and perhaps even a brand new named character HQ option which you could take in your lists, I guarantee you a lot of Xenos players would be really excited about that and would jump at the chance to buy that issue of White Dwarf to try out some new playstyles and some new army rules and some new stratagems in their lists. It just to me seems like such an obvious idea. It really boggles my mind why GW haven't jumped onto that as a way to not only give non-marine armies a little booster shot along the way while they wait for new books, but also as a way to potentially sell a load more issues of White Dwarf. Now, I don't have any hard and fast numbers on that, so I mean, I could be wrong. It's impossible that I am, but I just can't imagine many Marine players forking out for an Index Astartes, whereas I do think that Xenos players would be more likely to, because it is something new and they know that they may potentially have to wait a bit longer before they got something more substantial. And as I said, I have actually been planning on doing a larger video on this, so I won't say any more, but I just wanted to say that whilst I love the idea of this Flashpoint Octarius mission and getting a new unique set of rules for games and missions in White Dwarf, it really to me does seem like a missed opportunity to use this to provide some new shiny stuff for the Tyranids, rather than just essentially throwing out yet another few Space Marine characters into the mix. But what do you think of the mission outlined in Flashpoint Octarius? Do you like the idea of an underwater mission, and do you think that the rules that we can make out will favour the Tyranids or the Space Marines more? I would also really love to hear your opinion on Xenos focused Index Astartes style articles, and what kind of abilities and rules and fluff and lore you would like to see in those if we did ever get them. Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I will catch you later, guys.